Did I use search objects and I'm
You,
looking for like his clothing, the things that I remember that he was wearing? And if so, do I see the pathway lit up in front of us?
Alright, so you're using find object on who's close on the hat is the Ginger's outfit. Um,
Yeah, his outfit.
yeah, you would see that there is like a trail of glowing mushrooms who's heading deeper into down the hallway. They're not enough to sort of light the hallway any more than it already is lit, though. It's a very dim light in this space.
I don't think that we need it any brighter. Can we still see?
Um, those with dark vision can see fine. Those
Yeah.
without dark vision, it's difficult to see much.
hi, I am blind. I have
You'll do.
no extra visions.
Okay. I have dark vision up to 50 feet.
I also have
Turn.
dark vision.
I have to turn you up.
Oh, my volume's so low. I gotta go find my headphones, my other headphones. Crazy.
I believe I have low light, yeah.
Yeah, I have nothing.
Alright,
I'm
Well-
always the one casting light.
go
We
back.
we don't do that because that messed us up last time.
Go back.
Just
Can
grab
you
somebody's
give me
hand.
a perception.
I certainly can.
Oh,
That is an 18.
Okay. With an 18, you can clearly see, and Bakari would also be able to see this. There's a floor tile that's ever so slightly differently colored than all the other floor tiles.
Okay.
You would assume
That's
you would assume that the others don't notice it as they're not looking towards it.
stop.
I wasn't going forward. I'm just standing there. But
He
Okay.
will point it out. That tile doesn't look quite right as he casts Detect Magic.
we need like to detect for traps.
Well, we have a rogue. They just aren't here.
That's a good question. Where did the young Nissa go?
Mana and this seem to something happened with transportation. They ended up elsewhere.
Oh, so they legitimately are gone. Okay. Fun. So do I see anything on that plate from the spell?
Yes, you would see. What's, I think it's. Abjuration.
So I can pretty clearly tell that one is a trap.
It doesn't. You're not sure if it's a trap, but that you know that it is something.
Is there a roll I can make to see if it's a trap?
Arcana.
Doom. And I will inspire. Where's my... For a total of 15.
From what you can tell, there's some modified version of the alarm spell on that tile.
Ah. The tile looks like it's meant to alarm someone whenever someone steps on it.
Well, it's a good thing. I don't need to step, as nobody just begins floating.
Well, do we want to send nobody ahead?
Well, we can just walk around it or over it, I assume.
That is also
Yeah,
true.
but what if there's other traps?
Do I see anything else aside from that one tile?
Not that you can see.
I can't see anything else because of my limited vision, but that should be... That is more than enough to find someone stepping in.
What about like a string, or what if we bump into the wall just ever so slightly? Don't touch
Delbite's gonna pull out his dagger and cast light.
We are instantly blinded.
As you pass light, you see at the end of the hallway there is a door, and next to the door are these 3 neat white panels.
Okay. Do I see any other traps in the room?
Well, as you light up the space, you see those panels. Something happens with those panels. They seem to retract into the wall slightly.
I sheath the dagger, which should hide the light.
You hear a soft click as they go back into their original position.
Okay.
Alright, so no light.
Did I see any other indicators of a trap while the light was active?
No.
Okay. I am going to step over the plate. Actually, I'm going to step around it and over towards where that door was.
Nobody will just go ahead and float over.
I really need to get that warlock level so I can get that dark vision. This is becoming
I get
problem.
Akari will fly over there with nobody.
I didn't think playing a character without low light or dark vision would be such a problem.
You see that it's literally not. You notice the trap that no one else, that most other characters would not notice because of how dark vision works.
Yeah,
And then
because
as
we
soon as
did not see color.
Yeah, but as soon as I also activate a light so that I can start seeing, it looks like there's a problem.
Oh, that's why it's a puzzle and we solve it.
Alright, so I'm gonna head over to where those panels were. My detect magic should still be up.
Nothing magical about the panels.
This is like
How are they moving in response to the light?
Well, there are non-magical ways to do that, especially in the natural world. But
Can I roll something to see, figure out since it's a mechanism? I'm an artificer.
Yes, you can.
What, can I roll an investigation, or is that what that would be?
Investigation, you can roll tools. If you have crafting.
It would be Tinkerer's Tools. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
and nobody will be carrying his spear.
That's a 19.
These panels are made out of quartz. You would know that quartz has a response to light, and if you configure it the right way, it can vibrate or change certain properties about itself when light hits it. And these are just things that quartz can do on its own.
And then is it controlling, like, the opening to this door, or?
From what you can tell, it seems to be some sort of lock. When there's light on the quartz, it seems to trigger an additional lock.
So right now there's only one lock.
Yeah.
What about the different colors?
Well, that.
Are they different colors?
So, those of you with dark vision will see the quartz as 3 different shades of gray.
Well, I don't have dark vision.
Yeah. So when the light was on them, they were all white and opaque. But those of you with dark vision can now see that there are 3 different shades of transparent gray.
So they changed to white and exposed to light, but we can actually see the differences in them in the dark.
And then the door itself is locked currently.
You don't know.
Correct.
You haven't tried it.
Oh. I
Well,
checked
then
to
I'm
see if
gonna-
the door is locked.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
So is that a perception or investigation?
Perception if you don't want to touch it, investigation if you do.
I will not touch it, just in case. Oof, that's a 13.
From what you can tell, there seems to be. It does not seem to be like locked. In its current configuration.
Okay. I am going to try and open the door.
Car's taking a step back.
I have not even gone down that walkway yet. I'm just letting y'all.
You open the door to a dark room.
I walk in.
Hold on.
No, I walk in.
He walks in, he walks in.
At that point, nobody floats back.
Yeah, it's from the sound of it, it seems to be a fairly sizable room.
But I can't see anything.
Hey, turn
Oh,
your
wait,
light on
I'm
while
only
you're in
moving.
there.
So the light spell should still be active, it's just currently covered by the sheath.
Yes.
So I am just going to kind of break the dagger out of the sheath slightly to let the light flow a little bit. But the moment I see anything reacting, clicking the dagger back into place.
So as you slightly unsheath it, you'll see you're in what appears to be some kind of library, but all the books are behind these thin. You assume it's glass cases.
Okay.
In the middle of the room is a single desk with a halfling-looking sized person sitting at it, and
Oh!
and behind them a 7-foot-tall lizard folk person wearing all white.
Click!
What do you see?
You probably saw that in front. You probably saw that over my shoulder.
I don't know how tall you are.
Where's the panel? Is the panel like keyholes or is it like buttons?
The panels were like solid squares in the wall.
So if we touch one,
They
maybe when we open the door, it will change just like the ringing of the doorbell.
Okay, so after I click the dagger back in and the lights go out, do I hear anything?
You hear a strange, like, chuckle, but like someone who doesn't laugh a lot, that making an attempt to laugh. And you hear a familiar voice enter your brain.
Oh, great.
Welcome.
I assume Harlequin.
Yes. Welcome, my friends. What brings
Whose
you
voice?
to our humble abode here in the city?
Whose voice?
Harlequin, one of the Zoran's people, one that you guys actually have a pretty decently good rapport with.
The one who like
I can hardly say that.
I mean, at least a Darby does.
Creepily, not intentionally.
I think you know very well why we are here. As I'm going to also take a look around to see where Darby's things are pointing to.
The little mushrooms are just swirling through the room. They could head back to one of the 3 doors that you can see at the back of the room.
Well, you seem to have taken a few of our comrades. We've come to retrieve them.
Greg, did we take people today? We take people every day, my friend. Oh, that's bad, you know. But we probably shouldn't be kidnapping people. It is a war. Prisoners are required.
Yes. A child truly is worthy to be a war criminal.
I don't think that's what they meant by that. I think they mean more prisoners is to contract them and make them into soldiers.
I kind of gathered that, but I was saying that yes, because a child is really is not. Basically, he's trying to call them out for taking children.
Yep.
A child? Did we take a child today? Not to my knowledge. But Zoran did head out with the others earlier while you were on guard duty. I'm sure if they captured them, it was for a good reason.
Sure.
I highly doubt it.
So
I do
I
not
can also
think
see
we
where the
have
mushrooms go,
properly-
right?
Yeah, you can see them dimly. They, like I said before, they don't really give off
Yeah.
much light.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
throw
it's
both
been-
I'll throw both of them in the chat so you all can see.
Okay.
I think I'm sending like the actual Euro 412 since I'm not. I don't
You
know.
are.
So you can get a better look at them, I guess.
Oh look, double Harlequin.
Oops. I don't think we've properly met. Well, at least me met each other in passing a few times. I am Brigella.
Guessing that's the lizard folk. Is the door that the mushrooms lead to directly behind them?
Yes.
Okay. Well, nice to chat with you, Brigella, but let me be blunt. Would either of you take a problem to me going through that door and getting my friends back?
They look at each other. They seem to be having some sort of private conversation.
Okay.
Why should we allow you to go put yourselves in danger for no good reason?
No good reason. So what you are saying is you would not risk yourself if Harlequin here was taken hostage.
If such a thing were to happen, then let it be so.
I see. So you will intend to stop us if we choose to go forward.
I don't think that it would be in our best interest to combat you at this time. But a trade could be perhaps negotiated.
Yes. Because you want to trade someone else's life that you... Hold on. Because you want to trade something that's already been stolen. That's
Oh.
totally a fair trade.
No, sadly, we are in no position to give you aid, but we can also can't let you go by without some kind of challenge.
And what would such challenge or trade be?
Well, how about this? A trade of information.
In regards to...
The blood-tainted sword.
You know about that just as much as you know much more about that than we do at this current point.
That's yet to be seen. She holds up with a tentacle of some kind in a rolled up piece of paper. We have the name. We just not yet know how to remove it from the stone in which it rests.
Actually, it's actually quite funny. Zoran should be able to get the information for you just as easy as us. He is marked like us. He can talk to Layla at any time, yet you still try to get information from us.
We presume that Zoran is willing to disclose all the information that he has to Layla, and whether he trusts that creature.
And if we know nothing more than you,
Then we would need other information, something of equal value. And we
what
will let
other
you go-
information?
We will let you go by unimpeded.
And what other information would be of any value equivalent? Because out of game, nobody knows what Dobat knows.
Knows what?
I was like, I'm actually referring to nobody's and no one in the party knows the information that.
Oh, that's
Dobat
all.
knows.
I was sitting here like, what do you mean?
Yeah, like Dobat is.
Nick,
not
why'd you have to
shared-
pick a confusing name? We can't use it
Yeah.
in sentences.
Mhm.
What other information would be of equivalent?
Father Glenn will speak into your brain. We would be disclosing too much if we were to tell you what we're searching for.
Well, I cannot give information for what I do not know about.
If you offer
And it-
information, then we will gladly accept and whatever you think is worthy.
And again, there is one thing I am thinking of saying.
That's one thing that I'm thinking about saying as well.
You're not here.
No, I thought I was with everyone. Unless y'all
Teleportation-
left me outside.
Teleportation incident.
Yeah, you weren't here when we started. Teleportation instant, you and Kiari are missing.
I see. Well, yeah, as I said, I'm sorry for being late because I was making dinner at the time when you sent that message and I didn't see it until afterwards.
Nah, that's fine. I
No.
got bunnies for you.
I see.
Yeah, but no, I am. There is one thing I'm thinking about I could say that's equivalent information. It's going to cause us a problem later, though. Oh, hey, there's a primal.
That wasn't quite the one I was thinking of.
It's about the information that Dobat would have,
There is one more thing that you'll have.
which is...
Noxian interference.
my thing is, if they've been in the library and he knows that they left earlier, then would it be possible that there's another way into that room without having to go through them?
Potentially, but this is currently our only way in. And there's nothing saying that if we... and there's the also possibility that if we retreat, they may have a way to tell Zoran, hey, your friends were here.
Okay, are y'all all in the room?
I'm the only one in the room. Y'all are still back in the previous room.
Oh,
Nobody
the
would
hallway?
have floated in.
Okay, we close the door and press a button.
A button?
They're trying to
That
push
means
on.
the
They're trying
fan.
to push on the porch squares.
Yeah.
Why are we trying to lock Dobad in the room?
Well, he doesn't have to go in. Stay in.
He's already in the room.
Yeah, I'm in the room. Nobody's in the room.
Yeah, Picari's standing outside of the room because she's uncertain if she wants to go in or not.
And I'm still down the hallway.
Yeah, you're still down the hallway.
Yeah. Saying, why don't we close the door and like?
Because they're talking to the person in there.
It doesn't have to be. There probably is another way. That's what I'm saying. Instead of having to go through them, because that being that we have to give out information that we don't know, that also means that Zoran is. They're saying that Zoran's doing things on his own. He doesn't trust them. They don't trust him. But yet they're still, grouped together. So he's doing things on his own. If they're unaware of it, then they would be of no use except to allow us to just go on by. Now, if they did say that there would be no reason for them to have to try and stop us because they don't want to fight us, but they're saying it wouldn't cause problems if we just proceed on through too.
Question, Keontae. Has nobody basically finished reading the book he got from that library or from the time guy?
What was the title of the book?
I don't have it in my
Don't-
inventory.
yeah.
It was the Dark Gods from Arcanus during the I forgot what time.
The early first era. So, yeah, you would have read about Coil, Saltry, and Ariana.
So I basically gleaned all the information I could get from this book. Nobody will pull out his book from his bag. This is a book filled with the writings on the Dark Gods from the first era. From here in Arcanus, you might be able to glean something from it.
You will.
Are you sure you?
There'll
it is?
be
Oh.
there'll be a pause, and then you'll feel like an invisible tentacle will wrap around your wrist and touch the book.
Are you sure
Ugh.
it's the real deal?
So he nods. Yes, this will do. Until the tentacle will unwrap your wrist, but take the book, and you guys will be allowed through.
Okay.
You see them like get up and go to like the extreme ends of the room, my collar queen climbs up a ladder to an upper shelf and opens the enclosure. It's just looking through books. Igella is putting books away from the table that they were reading at.
Dolbat will continue down the door that is marked by the mushrooms.
Darby, as Nareen will pull at your arm.
Oh, I forgot Harim was with us.
Yeah.
So looks like that this seems a bit weird. I thought they were all bad guys.
Say who?
She gestures at the people wearing masks.
Wait. I mean, I think bad guy is dependent upon the person who is being affected. I can't say that in my book they seem like bad guys, but maybe in somebody else's book, or their morals might be a little bit different from my own. So I wouldn't say that, but they are not good guys. Why do you say?
They seem very handsome.
Two.
These two.
Well, yeah, that's kind of how they've been the entire time. I will say Zorn was like that as well, always with a smile on his face, but his intentions are kept secret. Only him and himself really know what's going on. He's the only one who knows what he's planning. I guess that's kind of how they can keep light of everything. They have their own goals. I don't want to get trapped in here, though.
The swinging door only swings one way.
From the farm where it's from, it swings both ways. Just depends on which way it's going.
So it's just contemplating doors up and those like one-way swinging doors on everything in the part of the city that he looks over. He's like a door that can swing both ways.
Oh please, it's very basic engineering.
Just think in your day-to-day life, how many doors do you come across in your day-to-day life that can open both ways?
Actually,
They're everywhere.
funny enough, plenty.
Every kitchen you go to.
They can, if the saloon stores, they all
Go into any tavern or restaurant of any kind with a kitchen, they're gonna have a two-way swinging door.
Yeah.
Oh,
But I don't see them a lot, but I know what they are. I just don't see them a lot because I don't go out there a lot.
So, what's commonplace to someone is alien technology to another. It makes you rethink some colloquialisms that you might hear normally.
This is
Sure.
making me think. Do I have to carry on inside? They can see the mushrooms.
It's a certain distance from you, so
Okay, when they go through that door, they can still see them.
it sort of stops just before the door.
Okay, so I guess I have to go inside. Oh, great.
And yeah, I mean, to be fair, Chianti, a broken clock is right twice a day. Looks at the digital clocks that are surrounding us nowadays. Kids ain't even seeing analog clocks anymore.
And then a broken sundial is never right.
Depends on how it's broken, but yeah.
Yeah, it depends on how it's broken. But it's the signal.
As you guys are going through the door, you hear a rattling coming from the door next to you.
Okay.
Nobody will pause before going through.
I've already stepped through.
Lisa, you found yourself in what is ostensibly a book storage closet. Essentially, there's just a bunch of paper and half-finished copy books and manuscripts and stuff that hasn't been finished, but ongoing research papers and stuff like that. It's just filled with that kind of thing, stacked up high. And when you went through the doorway, you ended up in this sort of closet.
I'll rummage through some of these books and papers real quick and see if there's anything of use. There might be some interesting information in some of these.
As you're rummaging through, you find a notebook of some kind. That just has Columbina written across the top and "Do not open" in big red letters on the front.
Definitely taking this one.
Are you gonna look inside of it?
Not at the moment.
You wanted him to open that, didn't you?
I said I had some funnies prepared.
I mean, we'll read it later, but once we get back with everyone else. In case this has some kind of teleportation spell on it that zaps her to that location when it opens.
You want it hot?
We don't want a repeat of the coin incident now, do we?
Yes, everyone wants a repeat of the coin incident.
Sit at your table.
So there's not much else interesting in this space. It's basically just a small desk of magic light and just a bunch of papers.
Sit down.
So just this book is the only notebook is interesting thing in here.
Use the tablet.
After I pocket it, I'll go and I guess check the door to the closet.
Sit down.
See if it's
It's a little stuck, but you rattle it and open it. And you see nobody floating there in a dimly lit room.
Oh,
There you
there
are.
you guys are.
It's crazy to have a dimly lit room in a library.
Nobody will see Nissa just wave and then starts floating through the door.
I'll follow.
I am going to, while floating behind Dobat, I am going to put my kinetic feelers out for mana.
You can sense Mana a floor above you.
Good. You owe me a new book.
Well, I got a new book. Where are you?
Who are you talking to?
Nobody's telepathically telling Mana that they owe him a new book.
Oh, okay.
Doreen's going to look over at Dorothy. Why are we taking that?
I gotta go in. No, I went in when you said that that the mushrooms stopped. I had to go in.
So you guys proceed. You guys are now currently in like a hallway with a bunch of different doors and stuff on either side. There's probably about 12 doors in this hallway alone.
Where does the mushrooms go?
The mushrooms are going straight down the hallway.
Then I keep on a stepping.
Going straight down the hallway. I'm not trying to be nosy.
So you guys need to get to another door. It's sort of at the end of the hallway is sort of like a lounge area. There's some couches and places to relax. You see that there's a table with some fresh fruit sitting on it. There's some citruses and some cactus fruit and some other things. They seem to be imported from Knox.
Okay.
Are you gonna go through the door?
Do the mushrooms go through the door? Yes. Nobody is in a very much no-nonsense kind of mood right now.
Seriously, it's that time for this shit. Just get us in and out.
Go back when you guys get to go through the door, you see a somewhat expansive, like large room, probably 30 by 20, and a good 16 feet to 20 feet ceilings.
Big.
A room this big probably wouldn't be part of like a normal building. This, like, especially above ground, unless it was like a mansion or something. This coupled with the lack of windows that you've seen, it makes you think that this
Well, well, we're pretty much all the way underground, aren't we?
It seems.
Pretty deep, based on how big this room is.
Can I roll something, Keontae, to help determine kind of where we're at, since Bakari grew up underground?
Give me either a survival or art history or nature.
Not really proficient in any of that, so yeah. Unless I roll with advantage, but if not, then that's my roll.
I'll give you advantage for it.
And then I'll just roll one more time. What was it? History? Yeah, no. Dice are not with me today.
Yeah, this room is like very artificial. Well, and you don't see any raw stone anywhere. You're not sure what kind of space this is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where do the mushrooms flow in this room?
They lead to. There's a trunk on the other, like on the leftmost wall.
You said a trunk?
Yes.
Great. Nobody hang back here a moment.
No, if you insist.
Nobody's
So
gonna
what
walk
are
over to
you
the trunk
using
and
to? What are we actually tracking here? Are you just
Junior's
tracking-
hat.
Then they probably just put his stuff into that, and he's not actually in there.
That's what I'm about to
No,
check.
it's probably not.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk over to that trunk, crack it open.
Alright. You crack it open. It is filled with clothes. You see Junior's hat and tie are comfortably placed at the top of the pile of clothes, along with Dea's armor and her jacket. And you can tell that like any of their unnecessary clothing was taken away from them.
You-
And you,
So all of his clothing was taken away?
Yep.
Any unnecessary bits of clothing. He's probably wearing like his innermost shirt and pants.
He's wearing basically his undergarments right now. Great.
I mean,
We've just lost
if
our
he's
lead.
wearing just underwear, that's something.
Well, the equivalent thereof.
Well, I can think, but I
Is there
can use
anything
it
else
on,
in this room?
There's two other trunks.
Do I see any markings like from before?
Yes. Give me a investigation.
I will. Yeah, I'm gonna. Inspiration in play. Oh, yes, I definitely need inspiration that.
Is there anything that I can do to help? I don't feel comfortable.
You can do an investigation or perception around the space.
I was actually about
so-
to suggest that nobody's going to float around and do a general investigation.
I'm 15 from
Yeah, I
my
say we investigate this place to its fullest.
Darby, you notice that these three trunks all have that same gold crown symbol on the sides of them, some outside. It, and you can tell that if there's that the latches to these trunks are similar to those coins that you've seen, like that nobody, Mana and all that have been sewn around, and like the one that you saw before, they've been made to look like those coins.
In a 15 investigation.
Yeah, you are able to find markings. You can see where Bea left something in Thieves' Camp on her cauldron.
Let me take a look at that.
I think I'll have someone who has thieves can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to be real stressed for a second.
Nissa, come here, please.
I have thieves chant.
This, looking at it, it seems, you're a little unfamiliar with Noxian Thieves' Camp, but you can get a general gist of what it's trying to communicate. Equipment taken, then heading down trapdoor.
There's a trapdoor in here somewhere.
Scanning.
Can I use my echolocation to see?
Yes, you can. Give me a perception with advantage. Nobody. Your investigation. No, that's awesome. Your investigation, and you sort of find that this room is basically been reinforced. This room could take some punishment from some heavy-hitting spells or abilities. And you find various training weapons. And I will give you a list of these training weapons. You see a large club, kind of like a big maul. You see two arm-mounted daggers. Very similar to the one that you've seen Harlequin wielding. You see a sword. The most interesting one are these training gauntlets, with their knuckles very well worn.
Nobody will keep a mental note of that. But
The one that sort of that concerns you, who you see a training staff have most practice mages would use those. What'd you say? It's like you get quieter every time you speak. And I don't know.
I haven't said anything.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
So, what's concerning about this training staff?
Usually training staffs are used in academies and stuff, but you can tell that this staff has been corrupted with something. There's some dark magic pervading through this wood. The magical wood that's used for these things are fairly rare. Most mages kind of are careful with them, but it seems like this has been overly corrupted by some kind of dark magic. And
Sadly,
that magic kind of reminds you of something that you felt recently. Other things, giant hammer, and a longbow.
Wait a second. I take a look at that staff. Does it have a broken end?
Yeah, the top part of it has been broken off.
Yeah, I'm taking the staff. Sorry, I believe you need to see this.
She's currently looking for the trapdoor, so she's not really paying attention because she's paying attention to her echolocation calls, her little
Yes.
chirps.
Sorry, continue with that.
Maybe we can blow up some dust and see if there's some air seeping out of the ground somewhere.
What's the echolocation of us?
Alright. With the echolocation, you are able to locate a large trapdoor at the opposite end of the room. There seems to be some sort of pulley system that's attached to it so that you can raise or lower it.
Okay, she'll relay this information.
Where does the pulley system go to?
Can I see?
You can tell that there's there's something on the wall next to it that you can crank and open up the trapdoor.
I'll go over to it. My detect magic should still be active. Any checks on that? On it or the door?
No magic whatsoever.
Okay. Cranking away.
Alright. You hear the loud sound of the chain cranking as you open the doorway.
The trapdoor.
When you open it, you hear a sound like like something stone sliding against stone as something rising up from the darkness of the trapdoor.
Okay.
Elevator?
And when it gets to the top, you see a giant black toad sitting on the elevator door.
Black what?
Toad.
Why is there a giant black frog sitting on it?
So it's an...
Let me double check what it's.
Pick it up.
Black gauntlet. Wait.
sort of sits there and opens its mouth, and you guys will hear the sinister voice of Kevin Ashton coming through. You thought I didn't notice that you guys had left the bar early. I knew this would happen, so I set a trap for you all. Now, my toad is going to eat you and melt you down and then swallow you up.
I'd say just throw the mechanism back unless.
Yeah, but is the mechanism weighted? Like, is it trying to go down on its own?
No. There seems to be some form of abjuration magic on the platform itself.
Oh, so it's flat out holding itself in place. Okay. Oh, Kevin. Why must you continue to be a headache?
You're the headaches. If you ruined my perfectly good vacation. His voice is coming from the toad.
A vacation where you tried to destroy a whole town.
Vacation.
Still tried to destroy a whole city.
What I do with my free time is none of your business.
Well, when it comes to destroying a city, I think it kind of becomes our business.
Question, Keontae.
Yes.
Is the door that we came in now sealed?
It hasn't been yet.
Oh, it's gonna start trying to walk.
The toad is going to do a standing leap and land in front of the door.
As it does, I'm gonna rabbit hop through it. Like it goes to leap, I'll leap.
Okay, who all went into this trapdoor?
Well, no, we're all in this room, and I was opening the trapdoor in the room.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's gotten in it yet. We're just opening it. Because it requires a pulley system.
I would say as soon as it leaps to block the door, everybody just jump on it and go.
No, there's abjuration magic holding the elevator in place.
Yeah, but there's gotta be a mechanism that we could that you use to make it go back down.
Is it... So the elevator is blocking the way. And we can't get down?
So the door is in the middle of the room. The elevator, you don't know how it works, but you can assume that you would just need to get on the elevator for it to go down.
Okay.
I would say just get on the elevator, throw it the coin, and let's see what happens.
Your body? What hurt?
So, okay, so I'm guessing I'm not gonna beat it to the door.
You would technically be able to beat it. You are faster than it, but you would be able to get out the door.
You can eat your ice cream later. Or go to the
Good.
potty. I'll put it in the freezer so it doesn't melt.
So I'll burn that rabbit hop use.
So you're outside the door, the toad is at the door, and everyone else is inside.
Is it staring at me though?
No, it doesn't seem to be. Its butt is towards you.
Oh, okay.
Nobody will put the staff away for the time being. Huh. Turns out this turned into a fun trip after all.
As you say that, the trunk behind you starts shaking.
The
The
one
what?
that we didn't open?
Yeah, one of the trunks.
One of the two that you guys didn't open.
Question, Keontae.
That's right.
any summoning magic on this toad?
You would know from experience that these are summoned creatures.
So I wouldn't be able to dispel the summon.
If you could dispel the spell on the caster, it is a spell.
But I'd have to cast it on Kevin then.
But as you are stowing away the staff, the trunk is going to burst open, and you're going to hear the clanking of wood as that strange pink golden wood puppet that Nissa saw in that alleyway. Multiple people saw it in the alleyway.
I think it's the one that tried to kill me, isn't it?
Yes. But you're not in the room right now, so you can't see.
It would have been it would have been myself, Mana, nobody, and Nissa, I think.
I don't remember this.
After the whole church thing, we had a bag that had some items. I left the cart down an alley to open the bag and look at items, and I nearly got assassinated. Back at the checkpoint before this town.
Oh.
This is that puppet.
Nobody floating around looks at them. I do hate a copycat, as how he's floating is by the artifact changing position to now above his head and making it and lines coming down. So he does look more like a puppet than usual. Hello?
We heard you.
Oh, okay. It just got quiet after that.
I'm sending the image of the thing so that y'all can see it.
Yeah, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And with that, we'll start with initiative next week, and then you guys will hopefully finish this up. Yep, rescue the
Hopefully I don't regret doing this, but... You know, honestly, what I was hoping to do was keep the attention on me so they could hit the elevator.
I mean, if need be. I can open up a black hole to keep them trapped long enough for us to get away.
Well, the other thing is, assuming that there isn't a stone that's about to drop in front of me, I can grant permanent flanking against that toad as long as he's sitting there. And he can't really hurt me.
Until you find out that he has a kick behind him and he kicks you.
But on the other side, Novad is now outside of the room with the thing that nearly killed him. This is probably the best place Novad has been in any combat encounter. Outside of the combat room.
We shall see how favorably your positioning aids you.
Well, the absolute worst case scenario, I basically spend turns dashing, get outside, get back to that bar, and grab Kevin.
If he's still there.
Well, it sounds like he's still having a good old time.
He could also be recovering in his room.
The other worst case scenario is I say, alright, I'm getting tired of this. Let's see what my new tricks can do. Activate level 2. But I'm trying to save that for Zoran. But I'm really tempted to see what you cooked up for the curse mark level 2.